then yeah, I forgot to tell you, it's like the world is just so cool because everything is so unpredictable and predictable at the same time, such contradictions, such opposites. So what happened was I was supposed to catch a flight from this little itty bitty mountain town in the jungles. It's a military airport, and they take little passengers to the bigger airport. So I drove there. This was in Assam, by the way, and it was too foggy, so that they canceled the flights. And then the nearest airport was 5 hours away, and we're driving around in circles. Very foggy northeast of India. And we almost didn't make it to the next flight, but somehow, you know, miracles always happen, whatever's meant to happen. And we made it on the flight. And then I make it to Korea. Now, there's been a lot of winds in Korea, in South Korea, in Seoul. So the flights have been canceled left, right, and center. And there's tons of people in the airports. And I'm just one of those souls. And I go to the airport at 6 a.m. in the morning and I come back to my hotel at 8 p.m. in the evening. I try to get on every single flight from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. There's like uh, flights to Minneapolis, just somewhere in the United States. I just wanted to get back. And it's so interesting because all these people, they come with such hope that they're going to get on this flight. And then the flights are canceled and their hopes are dashed. And you just see the looks on their faces, and everyone's like angry and upset. And there I am, like I'm smiling and laughing and trying to talk to people. And we almost have a WhatsApp group of like 30, 40 people who are just like, people who miss their flights. We go to the airport every single day. We wait in the morning till 8 p.m. at night. So, anyway, this has been my story for the last 4 days in Seoul. Very interesting city. I haven't been in the city. I just go from airport to the hotel, airport to the hotel. And very interesting. Someone asked me, "What are you eating there?" So I eat rice and kimchi. I found out a secret recipe, rice and kimchi. It's interesting recipe. So finally, I decided, I don't want to be stuck here. I would like to see how I can unstuck myself. And everybody in the airport felt so stuck. And you can see the anxiety on their faces. So this topic of being stuck came about because all these people stuck in the airports. And for those of you who didn't know, Delta alone canceled about 500 flights from Amsterdam. So I had friends that work in Delta that were stuck in Europe for a whole week, 10 days. So it's a very interesting phenomenon in our lives of being stuck. I know that Radha Priti is never stuck in her life. She's always on the flow.
I'm
So I thought,
constantly stuck, Prabhu. I need your help to get me unstuck.
so we thought, let's talk about how to unstuck ourselves from feeling stuck. So Radha, what do you think about this being stuck in life? Is it a common phenomenon in the world that people feel stuck at some point at at something in their lives?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about all the times in my life that I have felt stuck, whether it be like a relationship or career. And then, I was thinking about Arjuna because he goes through the same thing, right? Where he
Yeah,
feels stuck.
yes. Everybody knows that story. The greatest
Well,
warrior ever. Yes, Ina.
so why do you feel stuck in the first place? See it as an opportunity. You're in South Korea. How often are you there? Just look around, go out, and wait till the flights are going.
I am totally not feeling stuck at all. I, I am blissed out. I go
Yeah.
to the airport and I get to hang out with all these cool people, get to hear their stories. It's like I have made so many friends in the last 4 days. You can't even imagine. It's
So
fun.
that's nice.
I'm blissed out. So Radha Priti mentioned the story of Arjuna. Most of you know the story in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is like the greatest warrior in the history of mankind. The greatest archer. He knows every single weapon there is to have in your arsenal. In your arsenal. Sorry, not arsenal. In your arsenal. And this man is confronted by his own relatives on a battlefield. Now, granted, this guy has all the arsenal to destroy everyone in the world. There's no enemies that could stand in front of him or anywhere around him. That's the power of this man. But on this battlefield, he sees his relatives and he's like, I can't do this. How am I going to fight all these people? He forgets those people that try to steal his wife, burn down his home, all the aggressors that are meant to be killed according to the Vedic system. All these aggressors are standing right in front of him, and he's like, I can't do this. He was stuck. So what happened, Radha? What happened when he got stuck?
Well,
How
he's
did stuck
first he got
happen?
some pretty intense physical symptoms, right? He was like quivering. It was quite a scene, right?
Yes, tell me about it. You're
Uh,
doing the
I,
Bhagavad
he
Gita.
was just completely bewildered, and he was experiencing it everywhere on a visceral level. And he got to the point, this is like one of my favorite verses in the Gita, 2:7, when he gets to this point and he just says, Krishna, I don't know what to do. I'm bewildered. I'm surrendered to you. Please instruct me. I'm your student. I love that part.
You know the part that I like is
What?
the part where this greatest warrior of his time and his knees are giving up on him. I was like, whoa, his knees, he can't even stand. And his mouth dries up and his whole body starts to shake and tremble. And the weapons and his quiver, everything from his body starts to fall on the chariot because he can't keep it together. And he's
And
supposed to
what
be
to
the
speak
king.
of, this is like in the middle of a battlefield. So he's doing this, he's like looking vulnerable to his enemies. I mean, it's really quite a situation.
I think everybody could sense that this man was weak with all the symptoms of weakness. So what's your analysis of that? How does Arjuna unstuck himself?
Well, he doesn't unstuck himself, but he asks somebody who's more qualified to help him. And because he approaches that relationship with a humble heart and in the mood of service, Krishna helps him and he gets unstuck, right?
Very good. Keep going.
No, I want to hear from you, Prabhu.
I was just thinking when I was stuck in the airport how everybody in their life, there are by design, the world makes us feel that we are stuck. And it is actually not the world, it's the factors within the world uh, that brings out this emotion of being stuck. And it's not really being stuck, it's really, as Ina is saying, an opportunity for something great. And then I kept thinking to myself how, you know, people in this world are stuck on many levels. A lot of people are stuck in their careers. Like this lady who was there, she was a pilot for United Air and she was traveling on Delta and she was stuck. And we sat and we talked, and I said, how do you feel about this? And she starts to share that, I'm a pilot. I've been flying. And so, my nature is to always ask questions. So she kept saying how she doesn't feel fulfilled and she feels stuck in her life. And I was like, what? You're making money, you're flying the whole world, you're on vacation anytime you want. To share that, I'm a pilot. Oh, how cool. Martin, are you flying for KLM, Lufthansa? You're flying for the government? Who are you flying for? I think we lost you.
No, she's there. I don't know if she hears us.
Okay. No worries. But I thought it was really a sweet conversation that I had with her. She was feeling stuck in her career. And then I realized I kept asking her more questions. It wasn't the career, it was actually she was missing a purpose in her life. She was wondering why she was being a pilot. She was asking herself these questions. And I thought it was so profound that being stuck in an airport gets you to have this deep internal churning. There's some sort of an internal work that's going on being in this situation. And then I realized that there's people who feel stuck in their relationships. There was a person was supposed to go and meet their partner. They were supposed to go on a honeymoon date. And here he was stuck. And he was just like livid in this airport. And I was just getting to see how he also felt that even though, and I said, so how did you get into this relationship? He said, well, I felt stuck in my previous relationship. So I needed to just move on. So then I realized this being stuck, there's being stuck in your career, not having a purpose, and relationships, social dynamics. And then there are people who are stuck because their personal habits have taken complete control over them and they just don't know what else to do. And of course, there's the emotional part, we're emotionally feeling stuck sometimes. And then there's this part about transitions in life. There's this lady who's trying to go and meet her mom in Salt Lake, Utah, because her mom just died and she wants to go and be there for the funeral, and she's stuck in the airport. And so I got to like sit there and listen to all these people and have beautiful chats. And I could see her struggle, how she was like, I can't believe this. Like, what is my destiny? Like, I feel so stuck. What am I going to do now that my mother's gone? She was my anchor. And I wanted to be there. And now I don't even know what I'm going to do with my life. And I was like, what? But the beautiful part of being stuck is such an opportunity in life. So that was some of my realizations in the airport on being stuck. So that's why I thought, let's have a talk about it. So Radha, go ahead. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
I was just thinking, I want to know why you think we get stuck.
Well, the point is the river ever stuck? When Ganga, you go to Rishikesh, right? We all go on pilgrimages. We go to Rishikesh. Ganga Devi is coming down from the mountains. Is there any force that can actually stop her? Guess what? They build dams to stop the force. But does the dams work? Sure, because they have to release her no matter what. The water has to flow because the very nature of life is to flow. Very nature of the soul is to actually be connected to the divine. So everything you put in between you and God, it's a dam that's going to break or is going to overflow because You can't block that relationship. Something somehow is going to take you and bring you to where you really need to be with your parents, with your loving mother and your father, with your divine family. So if someone thinks that they're going to be stuck, they can stop the force of Ganga Devi. Go ahead and try it. Because you can't. The nature is teaching us this very important lesson that you can never be stuck in life. It can be a temporary block for a purpose that we haven't figured out yet. I mean, think about a garden. You know, we all have gardens and we all love to garden. Even if we don't do it, we wish we could do it. Like when I met Jules in Amsterdam, the guy was on a ladder on an apple orchard with a big smile, just picking apples. Very nature of the garden is to grow. There's going to be continuous growth. If you don't plant something there, weeds are going to grow. So you get to be very conscious in choosing what you put into that space so it grows, what you want it to grow. So I feel that in life, you can never be stuck. If you realize that you can, the very fact that you feel stuck, it begs the question, where are you stuck? What is stuck? You know what I mean? Like we use this word, but we haven't defined it. What does it mean to be stuck? It's not a very broad thing. Okay, I'm stuck in life. No, you're still breathing. You're still eating. There's still movement. Everything's going on. So what part of you is stuck? And when you ask yourself this question, you'll realize that there's actually not much that is stuck in your life. It is the fact that the mind has intervened and hijacked your ability to find the truth. And it has created this notion that you're stuck. And so therefore, we feel stuck. But what force is there that can stop? A force that is divine, because we're not material beings, we're spiritual beings. The force that we are is a very powerful divine force. It is the mind that can be stopped. But the senses, but the soul, the very power of the soul is to really cross the threshold of any obstacles that we face in life. What do you think?
I was just thinking of a practical example. I used to go to therapy quite a bit, and I remember a story that my therapist told me about one of her clients that she was working with who really wanted to own a bookstore. Like they were a lawyer and they really wanted to own a bookstore, and that was what they really wanted to do. And they kept telling her that they were going to wait until their mom died because their mom really wanted them to be a lawyer. And so then the mom died, and she said, "And what do you think happened after that?" And I said, "She opened a bookstore?" She said, "No, she didn't open a bookstore. She kept being a lawyer and she hated it." So what happened there? Why does that happen? And what could she do to, step out of that?
What do you think? What do you think happened? What is your analysis of that situation?
Um, okay, okay, my analysis. I think that she went through life listening to her mother's voice inside of her head until it became her own voice inside of her head, and and that just became her narrative. And even when her mom was gone, she still couldn't let go of it.
Yes, yes. And the sad part of it is that every one of our lives is somewhat influenced on various different degrees by others. And that is why in the practice of bhakti, it's such an important principle to realize that we have the choice. Each and every one of us have the independence to choose for ourselves. And that's why in bhakti we have sadhana. Every routine is a choice. So she chose the narrative that her mother presented to her. So in bhakti, we learn that you must turn that choice, make the right choice, make a conscious choice, and make those choices into your habits. And that consciousness of habits is the consciousness of devotion. But the choice have to be made every single day. Every single day we have to make choices, we have to make decisions. And this is why we feel stuck, because there's so many options. You wake up, you're gonna have to choose. What are you gonna choose? What are you gonna wear? What are you gonna use as a toothpaste? Because there's 5 different toothpaste in your bathroom. So different wardrobes and different lotions, different shampoos. So this constant choice making is what life, material life, presents to us. And spiritual life always sees beyond all of this. Spiritual life is thinking how to develop this consciousness of devotion. Because life is actually a divine dance. And the divine dance happens. I mean, I'm thinking of, like, in Atlanta, we get this beautiful, what is it called? The fall season. When you drive through Georgia, North Georgia mountains, I mean, the beauty of color. There's no artists, that human artists, that could create something so magical and so mystical and colorful. So it's the universal artist, God. He creates this incredible art, and you drive through it and you're just like completely blown away. Those leaves, the trees have to let go of those leaves. And in our lives, we have to go understand that in order to dance, you have to let go of some of the excess things that we're holding on to. Because if you have things in your hands and you got all this backpack and weight all over holding you down, you can't dance. And the nature of the soul is to actually katha ganam natyam gamanam api vamsi priya sakhi. Brahma explains that the soul by nature is a dancer. You like that, Jules, don't you, Jennifer? Because she's a dancer. Because we're supposed to be dancers, divine dancers. And this world that we're living in, we are supposed to be in sync with the universal dance, with the universal rhythm. And that's what bhakti is. Bhakti is tuning your rhythm to the cosmic rhythm of God. And that's everything around us teaches this simple principle. And the minute you realize everything is a beautiful dance, then it's so easy to not feel stuck. Because stuck means you forgot to dance, that you can't move. The minute you realize you're a divine dancer, you're a divine being, life becomes easier. What do you think, Radha?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I was just thinking of this thing I heard that I think about quite often, that most people never reach their full potential. And I was just kind of thinking this, like, because we just get so stuck along the way, like stuck on our ego, stuck in the voices inside of our head, stuck in our insecurities, stuck in our situations, and then we blame everything outside of us.
Yes.
And really, what needs to shift is this inner consciousness. And this shift of inner consciousness can happen when we connect with the divine, and and in that we become empowered. And
Yeah,
that's, yeah,
go
what are you
ahead.
saying? No, what are you saying?
Being stuck is actually only an emotion that is provided by the mind.
Mm.
It's nothing but the mind. Can you imagine the clouds? When you're up in the clouds. Are we the clouds that's blocking the sun? No, we're the incredible open space, infinite, boundless capacity to experience divine love in our hearts. So that is who we truly are. But if we think we're the clouds, we may get carried all over the place. And so therefore, I think it's very important to realize that being stuck is not who we are and is not who we were created to be. It's the fact that the mind has hijacked our identity, and the senses with their tentacles in every sphere has completely gripped onto all these different things, and it can't move. So it feels like I can't let go of this, I can't let go of that, I like that smell, I like that food, I like this, and all this attachment to every one of the sensory faculties and its varieties of objects that is attached to, it can't dance, it can't move. So our identity has been completely hijacked by our senses and our sense objects, and mind just ruling over us. And that's the only reason we feel stuck. So it has been extremely helpful for me being stuck here to really see how all these people on so many levels are completely under the grip of their senses and their mind. And one
Veda,
thing I
isn't
realized, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, isn't this why you created the Chitta cleanse?
Yes, yes. The Chitta cleanse was very, very uh, important product that was created not by me, by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and other sages to get people unstuck from like shackles for many lifetimes. So all this emotional baggage that we're carrying that's holding us back. I was just thinking how important it is when we study the principle of prana. Prana means this powerful universal force or God. Prahlad Maharaj, this 5-year-old prince, he actually experiences this prana when he says, Yontav pravesha mama vacham imam prashuptam. He says, oh powerful force, the minute you have entered into me, I'm able to speak, my hands are moving, and everything is functioning. It is you. And then in one of the Vedas, they actually have a very beautiful verse that actually explains this, even breaking it down a little bit more, where it says, Prane bhutam cha bhavyam cha prani sharvam pratishtitam. That everything rests on prana, this energy, this God energy, invisible to the eyes, but visible to the heart. Because you can't see it with these eyes. The eyes can only see matter. The heart can see the spirit. So it explains how there's this God everywhere. The very energy, everything is floating and resting on God. So there in that principle of, in that particular text of prana, understanding how invisible energy works, it explains that the very fact that we're stuck is because we have not allowed prana to flow through us. That energy flow in our mind, always going to the past. I could have, would have, should have done this. It's hijacked. It's complete mode of ignorance. It's gone. And so, future, I'm going to do this and that is also gone. The energy is gone to the future. Energy is gone to the past, and there's very little energy for the present. And so therefore, we feel stuck. Can you imagine you wake up in the morning, all the problems you had yesterday, you think about the same problems today? and the next day and the week and the month and the year and the next decade, you think about those exact same mistakes or things that has happened to you when you're 5 years old. What has happened? Your prana has been pulled and sucked away from you all the way back to till you're 5 years old. So therefore, you feel stuck. Someone's yanking you as you're trying to move forward, and they're like, no, you can't go. This is what life is. Life is living in the mode of ignorance, where means you're constantly living in the past. Radha, Nita didn't give me my cheesecake when you were in the ashram 5 years ago. For 5 years, I'm stuck on Nitai because he didn't give me my cheesecake, you know? Energy is gone. 5 years of energy, he's just taking it from me. And everybody in this world is constantly taking energy from us, trying to take it from us so they can hold us back. And in the practice of bhakti means to be in the present. And this is the only place where you can actually experience freedom. It's only in the present, not in the past and not in the future. So this is what I was thinking, you know, like I'm stuck here. I feel content. No problems. People are upset, you know, why aren't you back here? You have all these things to do. You have to do that. You have to do this. And, you know, so many requests and requirements are there by other people, but I'm here and I'm content. So that is what real yogi is. That is what mindfulness is. This is what awareness is. And when your prana focuses on the now, it actually changes your neurochemistry in the head. Your molecules will change. You're constantly just always in the now, because that is the only thing that we have. And that is our truth and reality. And then you're free. You can dance. You can dance in the airport, you know. You can laugh, and you can, every situation is just a most joyful experience. Someone says something unkind to you and you're like so happy. Because it's all inside. It's all internal. Being in the present is here, internal in your heart. And because that heart is the seat of God. The divine resides in the heart, not in your mind. Because the mind is a very dirty place. Sometimes the mind is considered to be the gutter. Okay, there were some other questions. Radha, you want to share something? I just kept going on my rant. So
No, that was beautiful. I love that. And that matches my experience with this topic. You know, you feel stuck and you feel like you have to change your material situation. So you change your material situation and then you feel stuck again. And for me, it wasn't until realizing that it wasn't the material situation that needed to change. It was my attachment to divinity. And once I to the degree that I attach myself to Krishna's lotus feet, the less pulled I feel by attachments here, attachments to my pride, my prestige, my money, and that's the process. And sometimes it's like a little bit slow to get there, and it can be discouraging, but it's like we just have to have faith, and we just have to keep practicing. We have to, just like you said, our sadhana, we have to wake up, we have to spend our time, we have to sacrifice our consciousness if we really want to see our heart transformed, right?
yeah, you know, another person had told me, another sage had once told me, I said, you know, spiritual life is very hard for a lot of new people. He said, Veda, if they can spend 30 minutes a day in being in the present.
Mm.
Being in the present means sitting with a mantra that your teacher has, sitting with your deities, sitting with the sound vibration, sitting with yourself, half an hour a day. You watch what happens. If someone says that they don't have time, they don't have half an hour a day, that means they need to do 2 hours a day. This is what he used to tell me. I said, I don't have time. I don't have this 2 hours a day to meditate. He says, then you must spend 4 hours a day. And so it's a very interesting phenomenon. 30 minutes a day being in the present. And each and every one of you have the mantra to sit with. And just sit with the mantra and let it, reprogram all the molecules and the neurons in your body and your brains and completely put everything to a reset. And that's what he was emphasizing, that every single day, minimum half an hour reset. Ideal is a 2 hour reset. But minimum half an hour reset, he said, you're good. And it's a secret to being unstuck, he said. So that's why you don't feel stuck anymore, because you're doing what, 3 hours or 4 hours? How many hours are you doing, Radha?
As much as I can, Prabhu. But there's something else also that really helped me with that. And that is having a teacher, a guide. You actually were that for me, that was just constantly encouraging me in a way to take shelter of God, and in a way to practice the practice, right? To show up, to do the service. And you saw things in me that I didn't see, and you just kept like fanning that flame. And I think that's really important also, is to have a tribe and to have a guide that can do that for you.
We are the tribe. We are the tribe. Okay, we have any more questions? I see Jules' hands up. Radha,
And
you have any more questions?
Kotor, is that her name? Is that his
Kotar.
name? Kotar.
Kotar.
She also does. Yeah.
Actually, my question, it was about the lady that you were talking about, Radha. The lady that once her mother passed away, she didn't change the profession, and I think because I feel because it was what stopped her. She thinks it's her mother, but it was another layer, which is really her inside. And as long as we are not facing our inside demons, we are taking it on the other person. It's easier. It's a very good comfort zone, but it's allowing us to escape our responsibility and not to welcome in the deep love. I don't know, Vedasara, what do you think about this point?
I love it. You know me for a while now, Kotar. The most powerful point in life for our quality of life is to really spend time every single day without fail with ourselves. And you all have meditations. If you don't have one, I'm happy to give it to you. You all have meditations. And another very, very powerful key component is having your Sangha, your tribe. Radha calls it the tribe. I call it the Sangha. We have had so many talks on that. You'll notice when birds fly, they fly long distance in big groups. And there's one in the front. And they all take turns to break the wind so that everyone can fly smoothly. And this is why in the yoga traditions, they emphasize the importance of tribe, of Sangha. It is very, very powerful principle. And we have it. This is our tribe. There's 50 of us here. This is our tribe from all over the world, and we can so easily be connected to each other. What a great use of technology. It's not, instead of it using us, we get to use it to stay in touch with one another. I mean, how beautiful. Thank you, Kotar. Okay, Jules.
Yeah, this theme means a lot to me because in the last few years, I nearly lost everything that gave me comfort. and I really feel stuck in my life at the moment. And in the years before, I was just dancing through life. And for me, it's very hard to not to compare the earlier situation with the situation now. And my question is, yeah, what can help me, and perhaps also for other people who are in more or less the same situation, what can help me to not feel a victim? Because a lot of times I feel a victim. Is the thought, okay, then I had my job, then my mother still lived, then I had my relationship, my mental health was better. The last thing is that I'm going to leave my home and I don't have another home yet. And in the years before, I was very successful and yeah, with a great job, with a lot of money, with also with a lot of um, spiritual development. It's not so that I was not kind of awake, but now it seems as if I have to lose everything, even the meaning of life, to get in another. Um, yeah, how do you say that in English? To get in another period of my life. But a lot of times I think, "Van, oh, do I manage this?" Because when you, yeah, when I lose so many things in life, then every time, every day, it's hard to, okay, for what do I come out of my bed? So this is my honest story at this moment. And is that something you can recommend to me?
Yes. I would say that you're blessed, that every day you're losing something in your life. It's only those who lose something they will find something of worth and meaning. Things that we lose in this world is actually divine arrangements, but it's difficult to see. You feel your family pulling away, your resources taken away from you, and it's making you realize the volatility, and it's supposed to let you go deep inside. What is it that I really have? I see you lose friendships, okay, for example. You lose friendships. What was the basis of that friendship? And then you're like, well, that person came, ate in my house, slept in my house. We had a great time, and he left. So if you look at the content of everything that uh, connected to you, the content of what it is connected to you, and that content, look deeper, what was the intent of that content in that relationship, you'll realize that it's such a beautiful thing when things leave you, when things are taken away. It gives you absolute freedom to and lightness to experience God's love. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. And most relationships in this material world, because our relationships in this material world are very materialistic. It is all related to matter. What can you do for me? What can you buy me? What can you give me? So when all these relationships based on matter starts to dissolve, what is truly left is our truth, is our essence. And that essence means to sit with yourself, sit with God. You know, like I have this dream that one day I will sit next to Giriraj Govardhan in Vrindavan and I will spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day being in the present, chanting beautiful mantras. You know, like this is, everyone has certain dreams, but this is a dream of mine. And things will be taken away from us. And it's great. It's just, it's hard. And that is why you have a tribe to, to hold you, to make sure that, when things are pulled away from you, it doesn't hurt. You know, when the stitches get taken away so that the skin can heal, yeah, I mean, it hurts a little bit when they take the stitches away. When they pull the band-aids, has anyone pulled a band-aid away and it peels off the hair on your skin? Oh my God, does it hurt? I didn't realize a little band-aid could hurt so much. To this day, I have a little phobia of band-aids being pulled off of my skin. Like before you even pull it, I go, ouch. Because, it hurts, this. So my thing is that when things are taken away from us, it may give you a temporary pain, but it'll give you a long-term relief. And
Yeah,
that's what,
but I have to say, in the moment, oh, it's often so hard that I really think from how long do I manage this? When does my heart say, okay, it's enough, or my brain says, then that that physically then how do yeah, English is not my mother tongue, so it's not so easy to express myself in English, but I'll try. But often I have the fear that okay, but it gives me so much stress and depression. How long will my body will endure? Is that the right word? I don't know.
yes,
How
yes.
long will my body take this? And when does the body say, okay, this has been enough, and then you get a heart attack or something like that? So it's I understand that losing so many things in such a short period that can bring you something, but what I feel is more I can't dance anymore.
Hmm.
I'm not the joyful one I've been. And where does this bring me when I even don't get up early because what do I do?
That
And
is the secret, Jules. That is the secret. The secret is to wake up early.
yeah, but
Oh, it's such
yeah,
a beautiful thing. If you wake up, just say, I'm going to wake up. These habits we were talking about, making those choices, waking up early and doing your morning awareness meditation, your heart space meditation. And you watch, I guarantee you, in 1 week, you'll be a different person. Because, I've been dealing with thousands of people and I have seen miracles that happen when you do this simple meditation of awareness being in the present. You just simply sit with the sound, no intentions, no expectations. You sit with the syllables, very simple 16 syllables. You just let it hear and let it hear and let it hear, and you just sit with the sound and you see what that sound does.
do you have
Sometimes
do you have
you
do
don't,
you have a link?
sometimes you don't even have to use the sound. You just do it mentally. And it's like, wow, it's
Do you have a
magic.
link for me for the 16 syllabus? I
I
don't
will,
know
I
what
will, I
I
will,
don't know
I
what
will
it is.
send it to you. I will have someone send it to you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, Jules. Our
thank you.
time is over, and
Yeah,
Shiva has.
can I say one more thing before we end, Veda?
Yes, yes.
I just want to say another thing Jules can consider is this chitta cleanse, because I feel like this is exactly what we're talking about. And Keshavi just posted on the thread that there's a couple spots left. So, and Keshavi posted a link too. So, um, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? And Veda gives personal time every Saturday morning for like an hour and a half to be your guide on this journey and help you sift through the junk in the mind so that your true self can shine through. So I would take advantage of this. I just want to share that.
Thank you, Radha.
Yeah.
Shiva, can we hold on to your questions for a week, or do you want to share it now? Because I'm just worried that I don't want to infringe on people's time because
Oh, it
our
wasn't a
time,
question. I was just asking you to repeat what you said as far as the tuning the rhythm.
tuning the rhythm of our life. Yeah.
And you can never infringe on our time, Guru Veda, ever.
So tuning tuning ourselves to the cosmic rhythm is really realizing how everything in this world is happening, whether you are present or not. everything is flowing because it's a divine play, it's a divine dance. And so to realize that even when things are taken away from you, it's part of the dance. And it's for you to let go so you can then join the dance. It's called a rasa lila. Rasa means mellows. It's delicious. Rasa is an emotion, an expression that comes from the heart. And so this dance is a dance of divine hearts. When an individual heart connects to the universal cosmic divine heart, that dance is called the rasa dance. And that dance is happening all the time. It's whether or not you're going to get on the dance floor. And I know, Shiva, you're a good dancer. I saw you dancing in front of the Krishna in Vrindavan. So you got some moves. So it's time to, realize that you're on this beautiful stage. The world is your stage. And it's time for you to dance. So thank you so much. Yes, the Chitta cleanse starts next week. And I'm just warning you, it's a lot of work because you have to let go of the bags that you've been carrying for so long, and it's gonna hurt when you take those bags off. So be prepared. And yeah, there's gonna be a whole tribe to help you carry your bags with you. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week.
Guru Veda, can we have a part 2?
Yeah, there were a couple of requests for that. Yeah.
Part 2 of what?
A part
Unstuck.
2 of Unstuck, because part 2 of Unstuck.
Radha Priti, what do you think?
I say we give the people what they want, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll do an unstuck session too.
We love being stuck.
So send in your questions to Keshavi Ma, and we'll have another session on being unstuck.
Okay. Thank you,
All
Guru
right,
Veda.
quick thing too. Yeah,
so
thank you, Radha, for bringing
Thank
up the
you.
Chitta cleanse. If anybody would like to join, you can message me if there's any concerns or anything. We would love to have. We have a few more spots. We'd love to have you. And if you have applied but not registered yet, please register soon because we're starting this week. Haribol.
Okay. Namaste, everyone. Haribol, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Haribo.
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 Hare Krishna to you.